So take it away.
All right. This presentation is about an idea that came to me with the restaurant, that we were going to make a Middle Eastern cuisine, something that's very interactive, very family orientated, and really open and inviting to just about everybody, regardless of your age or beliefs. Somewhere comfortable and vibrant, warm. There would be no alcohol here because we want to keep it a family environment, and because of some of the entertainment that might show up, belly dancers and such, we wanted to have it exciting, but not kind of take it into another realm. Somewhere that's classy. And we didn't want to get any misconceptions with that. But so outside of wonderful food and authentic dishes, we're going to have live entertainment. And the seating was the key problem that we had to resolve. Because in my idea, I really wanted it to be authentic, like a Bedouin tent, where there was floor seating, but also the options. If somebody's not comfortable or for medical conditions, or sometimes children, you wouldn't want them tripping over people's heads and stuff, we needed to have actual regular seating as well. And Erik did a wonderful job on that, and I'll let him go over his floor plan that worked out very well after we see the general slides. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and hit the PowerPoint. And hopefully, especially since the audio is not working well, hopefully that'll give a good indication of what we were thinking of with this restaurant. All right, so let's see here. So what do I need to do to, let's use share screen. I'll do it right now, hold on.
Cool.
Oops. All right, so we're going to take it away, and please bear with me because the sound overlays were a little bit of a problem. I hope that they work here.
Oh, okay. Wow. I hear noise, sound. Wow. Well, are you going to dance for us now, or how what are you looking at? Are you watching the presentation, or all we see right now is you?
Yeah. Oh no.
Now we see Erik.
Okay, hold on.
And now your sound is gone. It seems like your sound comes on whenever you have control. So now you've started screen sharing. Oh yes, okay, now I see the tent. And whoever wants to, all right. Presentation is on. It might, to share the sound, I think there's something you need to do in Zoom.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, because it's not playing through your microphone. It has to play from the computer.
Exactly.
And if all you have is the music, and we heard that at the beginning, then we don't need the sound in the PowerPoint.
Right.
Just narrate the PowerPoint and move on. But is there narration in the PowerPoint? Okay. Nice PowerPoint. I could play my harmonica while
Okay. Hey Christe, is the final product what you sent me, or did you add some more final touches to it? Just like a yes or no, because I can't hear you. Is it the final product? Okay. Because I have it pulled up right now, and I can play it. Is that okay? Yes, that okay? Or do you want me to go through the floor plan? Okay, cool. We're going to do this. This is happening. Okay. You guys see my screen?
nice.
Okay, cool. Okay. What?
Let me start. Okay.
Can you guys see it?
I see it.
Okay, cool. There's the music.
I hear it.
Basically, this is kind of the ambiance that we're really wanting in our restaurant, is something lively, be it something as elegant and casual where you can bring your whole family to. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to keep going, and this is where it's going to start going live, and hopefully we'll see more stuff here. All right, cool. There we go.
Wow.
So that's going to go. You know, the floor suites is kind of what we're looking for, with the table, Shalom, the place to meet and eat. Basically just a general mingle place where we've got this like seating area with a bunch of belly dancers. There's going to be a bunch of music. We'll have those long tables. But basically this is the concept we really wanted to include in this, to kind of just jump into a completely different culture straight off with the hummus platter, all the way to kebabs, all the way to some great dishes as well to go along with it. And then this is just kind of to touch in on the music aspect.
Okay.
So there's a little bit more of kind of what we provide for the food aspect of it, which is really cool, I feel. So there's the kebabs that we were mentioning.
Wow.
And obviously we'll go more in depth on the menu, on kind of what each include. But kind of the concept with the PowerPoint that we were kind of creating, or that Christe was more of like a commercial theme, to kind of help build the ambiance that we were really looking for in our restaurant, and how we wanted to fluctuate and kind of incorporate that in a space of a restaurant that was family friendly. So.
Wow.
No? Yes. Cool. Play. How more music get?
Media.
That one.
כל חי בך, כל מה שתרצה, כל מה שתחלום, יתגשם בך.
There's that. So basically that's going to go ahead, because if you notice in the floor plan that we provide, which we're going to go ahead and discuss later, is it's really going to show you not an arena area, but almost like an area where the music and the liveliness is really going to go ahead and take place with a bunch of these artists and a bunch of these belly dancers, and how we're going to incorporate like the family-friendly atmosphere with also taking it across, you know, oceans to make it very personable and very, very realistic to what exactly we're trying to portray. So that's really what we're trying to incorporate here.
Very impressive.
That is the PowerPoint. Did I do good, Christy? Did I do good? Okay, I'm just making sure, because that was like, that's winging it right there. That's exactly what that is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up these images for you and attempt to stop this music. Cool, there we go. So the floor plan was a lot of fun because, you know, when it comes to the critical thinking of it, you know, we kind of dove in on this project with Chrissy's idea, and we were able to fully embrace it to kind of her image. And we spent like maybe like a week and a half trying to, you know, picture her ideas of the concept she's wanting and how exactly she wants this to go ahead and go. But if you go ahead and look in this first image that I've got here, it says arena, but this is more of like the general area where we're going to go ahead and have those dancers and where we're going to have all this music. And those seats are going to go ahead and be long couches that provide almost like a relaxing atmosphere. There's going to be some hookahs. There's going to be some enjoyable relaxation areas where you can really just enjoy the livelihood of the area itself. Now, we've got our common eating room right over here. This is just going to be general floor seating with tables. Let me go ahead and pull up the furniture as well. Let me get that up here just a sec. There it is. Okay, perfect. Project furniture. So we're just going to kind of do this side by side from each other. So the common eating room right here is going to go ahead and include these floor cushions right here, along with these end tables. So almost like an ambiance of, you know, really kind of what it was like, or what it is like to obviously eat over there, to kind of just portray the imaging of what is to be expected. And then for these booth areas, we're going to go ahead and incorporate these hibachi tea table, the poof leather ottomans. So 2 for each side, including this long table as well, the tea table. So it's a really good effect, and Tiffany did a really good job with the furniture budget and design, because she was able to find all of these things in really a couple days, and really go ahead and design exactly what we wanted. So, and then we've got our foyer area, which is going to go ahead and also introduce these long couches right here, which is really going to be the main scene for a lot of the areas. So I'll go ahead and give you a good image of that. Cool. There's that. So we'll have obviously different types. So it's just like a mingle area, so to speak. So the foyer and the arena that we're looking at is sort of like general meet and greet, kind of general ambiance of relaxation and enjoying the food and stuff like that. So then moving on to the final image, we've got another common eating area, because we can basically seat over, I believe, like 150 people just for the common eating areas. And then on top of that, we can go ahead and add an additional 30 people in the music area to go ahead and really choose where you want to sit and how you really want to appreciate your social experience at Shalom. If you notice, the kitchen is right off the music area. There's a hallway that goes all the way down to the back end of the music area, because obviously there's going to be serving food in that music area, but it's also got quick access to the common eating area, and then also down the foyer to also serve more food to all of our guests. We do have a catering area, which I wanted to go ahead and add to in case you wanted to do large parties or anything like that. to kind of generate the experience and accommodate to a wide variety of people that wanted to come in, whether that was families or whether that was big office parties or, you know, taking a date or whatever. So we were able to incorporate a lot of different types of people into this really small, tight-knit atmosphere that we were trying to produce. So there's that.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and go more on this budget and design section here, which Tiffany did. And it's going to go ahead and include where she found each item on top of how much retail price would be, going down from $349 for each of the floor couches on top of $35. Just goes all the way down. And then finally, we get into these elegant tables, these antique wood carved furniture, low tables. These wonderful polished chandeliers, which plan to be going, like, we plan to put some in the arena, the foyer, really everywhere, to even the bathrooms. But this is just basic, the cost of the furniture when it comes to that. So we were having a little bit of a difficult for the quantity of types, but we ended up getting down on the correct number, we thought, for the amount of seating that we were going to go ahead and have. So those floor couches, as we said, we're going to go ahead and be a part of that arena, on top of the booths for the common areas and then also the foyers. And then we went ahead and also discussed those cushion booths, which is going to go ahead and be these tables right here. And then also the smaller tables, which is going to go ahead and be this, the wide coffee tables there. So really adds up with the shipping and then also the price to that grand total of $139,313.60 just for the furniture. But accommodating on the price of the food and also the experience itself, you know, Endgame is really, you know, I know this isn't really like a business practice, but the idea that we're trying to portray, there's not anything like it in the United States. So it's easily an attraction that can broaden a lot of people into this place. So, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just kind of dive on into this menu. And if you notice right at the beginning, it shows a little bit of elegance and class, because when first talking to Christe about what she wanted, is she wanted a /relax /elegant experience. And that was depicted by the fonts, that was depicted by the simplicity of the menu. Because when I think of elegant, I think of like a nice Italian restaurant. If you ever open up their menu, it's pretty bare, it's pretty robust and elegant. And I figure with the color scheme and everything, based on what she wanted, I think we really kind of hit the nail on the head on what we were looking for. So when I incorporated the menu based on the rubric, you wanted a presence in the Springfield area or wherever we were if this was a legitimate business. So I went ahead and picked an address. And if you notice as we go through all these menu items, it's all organic. It's all locally provided by vendors at local farmers markets and small markets here in Springfield, Missouri, which I hope that's okay with you, Christe, because I just kind of threw that in there. But I just thought it was like really cool to kind of, because that's kind of what Springfield is. It's very local, and to provide to help the local markets, which is obviously really cool. So we're located off of 112 East Battlefield Road, and that's in Springfield, Missouri. It's a shopping center, but we do lease out 2 of the larger buildings to incorporate our large space for eating. If you notice here, we've got child portions for kids age 12 and under, and that is going to be $5. So all the menu items on here, including the dessert, they're going to have child portions of that for $5 each. So that way the kids can really begin to experience really the whole ambiance, even at such a young age, and not be able to break the bank of the adults, so which is always good. So we're going to go ahead and start on the appetizers as well. I'm going to go ahead and scope out so we can go ahead and see all this. So basically what happened was Christe went ahead and sent me what she really wanted in the menu, sent me items, and what I did was I looked them up on how to make them, because I didn't want to include the images, because I wanted to basically put a little touch of pizzazz on it. You know, if you notice the hummus platter, a refreshing starter to any meal. It's just basic knowledge, and this includes, you know, freshly made hummus with an assortment of locally grown vegetables and pita chips. And if you notice, the fresh vegetables provided by Farmers Gastropub, which is a local market here in Springfield. And then we also go down to these wonderfully giant stuffed mushrooms, which are to die for. I went ahead and put the ambiance of lightly salted with a little pop, because it does have a little bit of spice in there, obviously, which is always a good quality to have. And give me just a second. I'm trying to pull up my words so I can pull up the pictures so I can describe them better. I apologize.
I have some big mushrooms in my front yard right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Probably not edible. Who knows?
Right. Okay. Cool. All right, good deal. So basically with the giant stuffed mushrooms, we went ahead and depicted that this could be /appetizer /side, because I feel like we needed more than one appetizer. So I just kind of threw that in there. And if you notice, the mushrooms are baked with freshly ground sausage with diced onions and an assortment of fresh vegetables, lightly sprinkled with cheese and drizzled in olive oil. So a great assortment of spices and also the elegance of vegetables. And if you notice, fresh vegetables with Farmer's Gastropub. And then the sausage is provided by Wild Bunch Farms out of Mountain Vernon, Missouri. So going down a little bit further here, we're getting to the main courses. If you notice, the prices are going up a little bit, but this is going to go ahead and be the main dishes. But if you notice, this is the experience itself. So when they come into this place, they're paying for the dinner. They're not paying for the music. There's not paying for that. That's just the experience itself. So this is what you're going to get, and you choose if you want to go ahead and sit in the common areas and just to have a nice, small, intimate time with your date, your family, however you want to do it, or you can go into the music area where you can really have an elegant time with the atmosphere, which is what we wanted to go ahead and create. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Turkish Forks, which is, I think, fantastic. It's going to go ahead and, it's a local traditional taste of turkey. I did a lot of research on this. It's basically freshly rolled yufka, which is traditional for Turkey. It's pounded out, it's rolled out, and then it's got ground beef, French spinach, onions, and then it's seasoned lightly with paprika, pepper, and salt. It's almost more like a quiche, I would think, in retrospect. So it's really good. I want to go ahead and make it. It's really good. And it's going to go ahead and be the main item option because of how good it is, I feel. It's going to go ahead. One, it's easy to prepare, I feel. And two, it's going to go ahead and be obviously the most based out of the Middle East area because of how popular it is in Turkey and how popular it is in the Middle East. So it's definitely favored all around. So. And then we have the beef or the chicken falafel. Obviously, this is more of like a wrap dish. It's got it's got chickpeas, it's got fresh vegetables, and it's also got fresh hummus. And it's served in a pita shell, which is always nice. And obviously, the beef or chicken is going to go ahead and be grilled. It's going to be seasoned very, very nicely with garlic, and then also some assortment of spices to go ahead and bring that heritage. Coming in, obviously, it says fried, seasoned, and fulfilled to Israel's finest because this is where it's from. So if you notice, we're really incorporating every aspect of the Middle East really into this nice, tightly knit restaurant. And then the final main course item is going to go ahead and be the beef or chicken kebabs, which is another main item options, which I think are fantastic. So they're grilled and packed with a punch, and the reason why is because they're seasoned a lot, because that's what they did. You can either do chicken or beef, and it's well combined with lightly roasted red onions, fresh yellow cherry tomatoes, and red potatoes. And really, we can go ahead and season it up however you want with some parsley. We can go with some garlic on there, some nice Cajun pepper, some paprika, whatever really we're looking for. It's really kind of up to what you want. And if you notice, the vegetables, once again, provided by Farmer's Gastropub, and then the beef and chicken provided by Wild Bunch Farms. So if you notice, just by the appetizers and the main courses, is we're really able to really hone in on the heritage and the characteristics of really Christie's image, and then also what they had in the Middle East and what they're able to do today with their amazing cooking abilities. Now we're going to go ahead and provide the sides. If you notice, they have different prices on it because the sides are not included in the main dishes because the main dishes itself are large enough as it is. Like if you notice on the kebabs, the price was $29.99, or excuse me, $29 because they get 4 kebabs. quite a few. So that's enough to fill up myself and a whole other horse, probably. And then the beef and chicken falafels, we're going to go ahead and provide 4 of them for them. And then obviously the Turkish fork, it's going to go ahead and be rather large enough to serve 2 people, so to speak, just depending on how hungry you are, really. So, all right, now we're going to go ahead and get down to the sides. It's more of a soup-based, which is what Christe was kind of looking for, and just the elegance of the Middle East. So we've got cream of mushroom soup, we've got lentil soup, and then, of course, we went ahead and added back the giant stuffed mushrooms because they're rather large, and we wanted to create that side option so that way they could really have a chance to benefit more from that side. Sorry, my cat is saying hi. But if you notice, we still go in depth on, what all they consist of. So the cream of mushroom soup, mushrooms tossed in with freshly chopped onions, minced garlic, and seasoned with nutmeg, salt, and pepper. So more of a sweet cream of mushroom soup, that nutmeg, and also the garlic really gives it that creamy taste or that creamy consistency that is good of the mushroom soup, which is always good. And then going down a little bit further, we've got the lentil soup, which is really, really nice. Early Middle East at its finest, as it dates back to about 10,000 years ago. They've been doing it for a while. So they've had it for a while. So it's a rich blend of fresh lentils thrown, which are leaves, and with tomato, onion, celery, carrots, spinach, and garlic. And then you've got oregano, basil, and salt. So it's seasoned, it's elegant, and it's really nice. So really the side provided is really going to help with the punch of a kebab or the really heartiness of a falafel or something, just to kind of help drain it down, which is always nice. And if you're still hungry, which might not be a possibility, we've got dessert, and we got lots of it. So we've got 3 different types, which I think Christe did wonderfully on picking these out. Definitely made me very hungry typing this up. So we've got baklava, which is a sweet pastry. This is a Greek pastry. It's a lovely baked dish with chopped nuts, honey, and folio dough baked to perfection. So it's almost like a pie. So you're going to go ahead and start off. That folio dough is where you create the crust, and then you're going to go ahead and put in the nuts, the honey, and then it just kind of glazes on top, and you're going to go ahead and bake it and wait till it does get a little bit brown on top, and then you can drizzle it with some more honey, or you can put, I think sometimes they'll put caramel on it, whatever they want to do, but it creates that nice, and I say delicate because it's really, it'll melt in your mouth. And then we've got halva, and I say sweet wheels of halva because it's a fudge-like candy. So the way that they make it is they make it in wheels. I think that's where I kind of got that from. I don't remember, but all I know is the way they make it, because it's fudge-like, they've got to press it out and they've got to roll it around to make it where it's compatible to break apart like fudge, to get it into that consistency to break apart. And it's sesame paste, which is, it's got sesame seeds in it. It's got a little bit of, let me see. I don't know why I didn't go more in depth on that. I apologize. But so basically it's an elegant dish that is almost like a fudge-like, where it's almost like a chocolate bar, but it's still really good. And then last but not least, to incorporate more hummus, because hummus is amazing, we have hummus ice cream. Now, it's milky consistency of hummus ice cream topped with your choice of raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, and cherries. So we're going to have an assortment of different toppings. It is made by us locally in our place. We're not going to go ahead and get it from some shop or something like that, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work to go ahead and make this. But it just includes hummus. It obviously includes some cream, just to go ahead and get that consistency. But we obviously wanted to incorporate several different types of toppings because it creates more of an enjoyable experience if, say, the kids want strawberries and, say, mom and dad want blueberries. So fantastic. So that's what I've got here for the menu.
Excellent.
Pretty good there.
Yeah.
But overall, with what we provided with the cost, pretty manageable. And then also with the floor plan, I think with all the obstacles that we really kind of had to take on with merging into a different group, to really having to incorporate an idea that Christe had from the start, and the fact that we were able to, number one, work very well together, but number two, provide a great image of kind of what we are looking for. So just to top it all off, how much space in the restaurant will the dining room occupy? So anywhere between, it can occupy, so the space in the restaurant is anywhere between, I want to say 2,000 to 3,000 feet, enough to provide enough space for roughly, as I said, 150 people for the common areas, on top of about 35 additional people in the music area. But that music area is going to be rather large to go ahead and serve for a full band if need be, or a bunch of belly dancers. And the concept that Christe was looking, and it's really hard to incorporate that on Smart Draw. But if you notice these here, these are actually going to be stacked on top of each other. So it's almost going to be like a layering aspect. So you've got the first row right here, you've got the second row, and obviously we want more rows, but it was just hard to incorporate here because of the limited space that we had on Smart Draw. But overall, if you notice by the PowerPoint, we're going to have drapery all along the walls. We're going to have all that provided by, you know, in the coming months when we begin. And then obviously the guests, to be able to serve at the same time, it's going to go ahead and be give or take full occupant or full capacity is what we can go ahead and take. We've got a very large kitchen to go ahead and provide for that much, and a very simplistic menu, so we can go ahead and provide multiple dishes to all of our customers and be able to get out in an efficient manner. And then, as I said, the ideal clientele for this restaurant is just about anybody who really wants to dive in on the Middle East heritage and to be able to pick apart really what they really want to see and what they want to hear going forward. So,
wow, this is exciting.
Any questions?
Oh, I wrote down a couple of things here.
Okay.
Are you gonna have takeout?
No takeout.
Takeout, okay. What kind of uniforms will the serving people wear?
So the uniforms that the servers are going to wear is, we were really kind of talking about bringing up the ideas of having them dress in heritage clothes, like their heritage of clothing, which is obviously what we wanted to go ahead and include. Really, we thought that the uniforms were optional, and that's why we didn't include in the PowerPoint. But I feel incorporating of the heritage clothing, which, let me just go ahead and pull up the email to give you kind of a ballpoint of what we're looking for, because Christe was so nice to include images.
Really?
Just find that here. Apologize. Hold on. Gotta find it. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Scroll, because it's all the way down to the bottom. It was like the very beginning. She's like, yeah, I want them to wear this, this, and this, and this. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll incorporate that.
Nice collaboration.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I had to download the Outlook app on my phone and get it on my iPad, because we were talking back and forth for a long time.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we had to have communication, 25% or all the time. So almost there, I promise. Okay, there. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not close enough, because I'm not able to depict off of the emails itself. But if I scroll up to the top, it'll show me like how many attachments are on each one.
Yeah.
So, here are some examples. There are many. Ah.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So is that gonna work? Let's see if I can scroll on here. Oh, come on, let me scroll in. How would you let me scroll in?
Maybe the down arrow lets you see the picture.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh shoot. I think I scoped in too much.
Well, that's okay. Oh, there we go. There's some bigger ones over there.
Yeah, my computer froze, so it's like freaking out now.
Well, don't ruin it.
I'm gonna try not to.
I imagine you wouldn't want too much hanging over,
Yes, exactly. So we want to incorporate some of these elements, into the basic uniform, but not all of them, because obviously it's got to be efficient for them to carry out food and make it efficient enough to where it's going to go ahead and be easy to walk around in. So I assume something like this sort of dress, but not as low, so that way they can move around freely. And if you notice on the sleeve, it's very close to the skin, so that way it's not flimsy and stuff like that, so that way they can go ahead and serve food. But overall, just the basic heritage of kind of what they're looking for. So
Okay.
That's good there. Cool.
We've done a lot of research on this, and that's really neat. Are you going to serve pork as part of your sausage? I don't know. Is there any problem with Middle Easterners eating pork?
No, it's just all the menu items that were provided, they called for sausage. So I think we just wanted to I didn't really think about it, honestly. I think it just kind of happened where we just didn't have pork.
Yeah, well, I've never really eaten much Middle Eastern food. We have a few restaurants in Berkeley, I think, that are Middle Eastern. But in my area, it's mostly just Mexican and Chinese.
Right. Yeah, that's what we got here.
Yeah.
To a couple Italian places.
So will the location have much parking?
Yes. So what works about the shopping plaza is it's right by a grocery store. So we've got a wide open parking lot that's going to go ahead and supply to the demand that we need of anywhere between 200 people to 250, depending on the weight to get in. That's another reason why we have the foyer, so that way they can go ahead and sit there and wait and smoke on a hookah, whatever they want to do, just to kind of create the ambiance that they're looking for. But we can definitely accommodate to that parking. So I can actually pull up the map to show you where it is, if you like.
Really? So this is an existing place that you're going to remodel, or? So
basically, the reason why I got this idea is I just thought of that area, and I was like, yeah, it's not for sale, but it's a pretty good place to the point where it can actually support this kind of restaurant. So let me go in here just a second.
Okay.
Okay, so you see price cutters right there. So this right here.
Yeah.
That right there, those two buildings, that's what we're looking at here. And if you notice, we've got this wide area of parking.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's got a central location. I can't show you street view, but it's got a central location. So if you notice, we've got a lot of houses right here. We've got a nice little shopping district here. A bunch of our wealthier people live out here, so we're going to get a prime area of really anyone that wants to really eat here. And a lot of development has been taken off in the recent years in this area. They recently got a new interchange. They're actually building development here as well right now. So it's a prime location to really buy and renovate and have this take off. So,
okay, is there any Middle Eastern community in Springfield area?
Yes, there is.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes. So that's kind of another reason why I feel Christe had that idea, is because we haven't really had something like that in Springfield, and I feel like she felt like it needed to be incorporated. I feel like she's absolutely right. Because, we have a bunch of Mexican restaurants, we got a bunch of Italian, we got a bunch of Chinese, but we don't have Eastern. And frankly, we need that. So
great. Well, if you can get them coming in, then that'll be a big selling point.
Exactly, absolutely. And that's why we're tailored to anyone, because that's what Springfield's about. We've got we've got several different types of heritages. We've got several different types of people like in this tight-knit community where anybody can enjoy this kind of food. And we've created it to where it's a wide variety of stuff that people can enjoy from different countries in the Middle East.
Okay. This is excellent. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Did Christe want to say anything? If you give her the screen, she could make any comments she wanted to make.
Yes. I'm going to see if I can get this thing stop share. Okay, cool. There we go.
So,
oh, she's on mute.
Well, it's off now. So, Christe, can you I don't know. What if you click her picture here? That didn't do anything.
I can hear you a little bit. Say something, Christy.
Can you hear me now? No.
A little bit.
Gosh.
Well, I enjoyed it very much, Christy, and
Whatever.
that's all
This was
right.
all her idea. This was all your idea.
Wow.
You get to take all of this credit.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Did you have any questions for me?
Did we incorporate everything that you were looking for?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is far and above what was required. So I'm
Okay, just making sure, because we were just like the rubric said a lot of things, and then also that PDF kind of said some different things as well. So
yeah.
all right, cool.
Okay.
Someone just rang my doorbell.
I know. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.